Hey guys, John from the John Muir Show here, and once again it is Friday, and once again we had multiple topics that we were not able to get to on the John Muir Show this week, so you know what it is? It is time once again for Rapid Fire, and we're going to go ahead and start with New York Democrat Senator and 2020 presidential hopeful Kirsten Gillibrand. This week, Gillibrand came out and said that if she is elected to be the next president of the United States, that she will only appoint justices who will uphold Roe v. Wade regardless. I mean, that is absolutely absurd. That should concern all Americans right there, because keep in mind, Roe v. Wade, this is not something that's done and dusted. There is no constitutional right for someone to have an abortion. I mean, there are things listed out in our laws about how all law-abiding American citizens, including the youngest, most vulnerable of lives among us, that they do have the right to enjoy their most basic rights, that they cannot be deprived of the right to live, which is, of course, exactly what abortion does. It is murder. So, I mean, personally, I believe that, yeah, there are very legitimate grounds to overturn Roe v. Wade. We'll see what ends up happening if the Supreme Court ends up taking that matter up and considering it. We'll see what they end up having to say about it. But it seems pretty clear that you could make a really good argument, not a partisan argument, about why Roe v. Wade should be overturned. So it should just scare the crap out of everybody, regardless of your politics, that you have a candidate for the nation's highest office in Kirsten Gillibrand coming out here and saying that regardless, she's going to go to nominate justices who are going to do the Democrat Party's bidding, regardless of what the law has to say. We should all be working together to get all political activism totally out of our court system and not add more political activism to it. This at a time where liberal activism is totally running rampant in the courts in the United States of America at all levels, and it is absolutely disgusting. Shame on Kirsten Gillibrand for what she's saying. Next, I want to talk about another Democrat who's running for the presidency, this time Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, a.k.a. Pocahontas. She's coming out, Warren is, and saying that she's going to introduce this bill that would eliminate college debt for students. This might on the surface sound like an idea that's all really nice, and it's just really kind to go out there and help these young Americans out. But in reality, this idea, it's totally impractical, it's totally unfair, and I mean, quite frankly, it's just dangerous to go doing something like this. Allow me to explain. Look, you've got north of $1.5 trillion in outstanding college debt, according to statistics that were released in 2018. So what Warren is saying is she wants to place that burden on American taxpayers. That is an absurd amount of money. There is no reason why our taxpayers should be having to bear it, especially considering that these kids who went to college, they made the conscious decision that they were going to enroll in school and that they were going to take out loans and get themselves in debt. Hey, they did that on their own. Shouldn't they be the ones that have to bear the responsibility in getting themselves out of debt and paying that money back? And not to mention that for students who are still enrolled in school that Warren wants to help out, I mean, what incentive are these college kids going to have if they're told, oh yeah, you know what, you could just spend your time in college not applying yourself, you can just screw around all the time, you can go drinking and doing drugs, do whatever the hell you want to, and when you fail out, oh, don't worry, you don't have to pay for it. The taxpayers have to pay for it. I mean, students, in the majority of cases, students are going to give a lot more damns about their schooling if they know that if they fail out, they're the ones on the hook for the money. They've got to have skin in the game. Warren's idea is terrible, but it's not surprising because to date, the 2020 Democrat primary field, it has been full of absolutely terrible ideas. Warren's is just another one to add onto that list. And lastly, we want to talk about Socialist Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the Democrat from the state of New York. So for the second time in 2 weeks now, you have somebody who's a friend of Ocasio-Cortez's going after another individual merely because that individual said that they want to debate Ocasio-Cortez. Last week, it was Ilhan Omar going after John Delaney. Now this week, what we've got is AOC's spokesman, a guy by the name of Corbin Trent. He is going after a potential 2020 Republican challenger of Ocasio-Cortez's merely because this guy said, I want to debate AOC. How about it's her socialist values against my capitalist values. We'll debate it and see what the people think. But apparently that warranted him getting some F-word ridden tirade on Twitter from this Corbin Trent guy because he was so outraged that a guy would challenge Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to a debate. See, it seems we got a pattern going on here. Again, this is the second time in 2 weeks. It seems that AOC absolutely does not want to debate anyone when it comes to her ideas, her stances. And I have a pretty good idea why that is. It's because AOC does not have a fact-based argument to defend hardly any of her positions, including her love of socialism. So it seems that AOC, instead of actually just, admitting, hey, you know what, okay, you caught me, I'm an ideologue, I have no idea what I'm talking about, I can't stand up to you in a debate. No, instead she's hiding behind her friends, having her friends do her dirty work for her. Real mature, huh? That's all the time that we have for today and this week. Yet another edition of Rapid Fire. Have the best of weekends. We'll see you again Monday. Till then, I'm out.